Okay, quick hypothetical scenario. When we all get up to leave, everyone falls. Some just scrape their knee, some hit their head off the table, some fall all the way down the stairs. Now, there are only 2 paramedics that can arrive on scene quickly, and there are more than 2 of us in this room. So how do they go about treating us? Well, they would talk to us, and after we explain our injuries and levels of pain, they would prioritize us accordingly. And this makes sense to us, right? Okay, less hypothetical scenario. This room is a county, and we are all bridges affected by an earthquake. But now, instead of feet separating us, it's miles. But there are still only 2 paramedics, or bridge inspectors, there to assess us. Lastly, just to make their job more difficult, we can't tell them how we feel, because bridges can't talk. And that's the reality of our situation, our start, if you will. I'm talking to bridges, and they are not talking back to me, which is probably a good thing for my sanity, but really stressful when trying to assess them. And that's our goal, to get away from this cold shoulder and onto a system where bridges can tell us how they're feeling after an earthquake, to give bridge inspectors a stepping off point when assessing. So how do we get from where we are to where we want to be? That's where my research comes in. As you can see, my bridge on the right is not only talking, but it's also thinking. What is it thinking? Thank you for asking. It's thinking about its fragility curve, which is a graphical representation that inputs an earthquake parameter and outputs a probability of damage. This is done through modeling the bridge and running earthquake scenarios. My research will be developing these fragility curves for bridges constructed pre-1965. Specifically, I'll be looking at 2 common bridge archetypes and modeling a variety of bridges with different properties, such as span length or height. The final product will be multiple fragility curves that inspectors can choose from based on the bridge that they're assessing. So, in the event of an earthquake, bridge inspectors will have a better understanding of how bridges are feeling, aka their probability of damage, and then be able to prioritize them accordingly, similar to our paramedics. So if there's only one thing I can leave you to remember about my research, let it be this. We speak for ourselves, the Lorax speaks for the trees, and these fragility curves will speak for bridges. Thank you.